Martin Sabalenka being crowned champion, once again showing the world why he is the greatest.
Left hook on the temple, unbelievable.
We start with a special showcase bout.
It's an absolute monster of a lightweight. What a moment! A history-making goal!
She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys.
Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Welcome to Los Angeles, California. Riyadh season making its American debut this weekend. And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is putting on another incredibly stacked card. The main event tonight is Terence Crawford bidding to become a four-weight world champion. He wants the WBA light middleweight crown that currently belongs to Israel Madrimov. Will Crawford continue to make history, or can Madrimov pull off a massive upset?
Two champions, undefeated.
Terence Crawford is an all-time great.
Climbing three-weight divisions, it's incredible. If you go to the fourth, then you're hitting legendary status.
Will his power carry up? We don't quite know.
Israel, the Dream Madrimov!
This belt coming to Uzbekistan.
Madrimov is going to be an underdog here.
You've got a historic night.
Terence Crawford already has a Hall of Fame resume. This would be the biggest win of Terence Crawford's career.
I'm gunning for him August 3rd.
Welcome to BMO Stadium, the home to Major League Soccer's LAFC and the NWSL's Angel City. But tonight, we've brought DAZN to downtown Los Angeles. The card is stacked top to bottom. This is one of the best fight cards that we have seen in a very long time. Very good afternoon, everybody. Great to have you with us today. I am Kate Abdo, joined by the former welterweight world champ, Sean Porter. Good to see you.
Retired, not former. Retired.
Retired. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly the same thing.
Lot of
We're not changing
there.
all the scripts. It's going to stay as former. Talk to me about the week that you have experienced. DAZN in Los Angeles. How's it been for you?
It has been amazing. This truly has been one of the funnest times in boxing that I've ever been a part of. In the ring, out of the ring, all of the festivities. As a commentator, I've never enjoyed myself as much as I have this week, being in Santa Monica, going to Hollywood for the press conference. It's just been an amazing week.
Seeing what His Excellency has done for boxing in Saudi Arabia, the big cards that we've seen made, now bringing that to America, how important is that for American boxing?
You know, it's very important because I think here in America, we don't, the concept of boxing is far misunderstood, and I think the number one thing that people want when they see boxing is they want to see number one and they want to see number two. You know, they want to see number 3 versus number 4. You don't get that often enough here in the United States. So to have this card of this magnitude is just amazing, and it's putting boxing in the States on another level.
That's what we've gotten a lot closer to in this era, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Let's talk a little bit about the main event, Terence Crawford against Israel Madrimov. I'm super excited for this one. How competitive do you think this fight is going to be?
I think it's going to be extremely competitive because Madrimov is the kind of guy, he knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's going to go in there and not allow anything to deter him from what he wants to accomplish. And the funny thing about that is you have a Terence Crawford that likes to see what you do well, wants to take that away from you, and then render you helpless, you know what I mean? And he's been able to do that time and time again. This is truly competitive drive versus competitive drive. Two of the guys in the sport that are at the elite level in terms of being able to be competitive from round 1 to the end of the fight. So that's where this push is going to be. This is going to be brick wall pushing against one another. You know?
I think the people that are trying to find a reason to maybe doubt in Terence Crawford and think that this could potentially go the other way, they're talking about the age of Terence Crawford. Ring rust maybe hasn't fought in a year, right, since the Errol Spence fight. Stepping up in weight, now competing at 154. Do you think any of those things actually play a role tonight?
You know, you have to look at those as possible narratives. No, to answer your question, I don't think anything is going to prevent Terence Crawford from winning tonight. However, those are true substantial reasons why this fight could go the opposite way. We look at him being 36. We look at him being out of the ring for over a year now. And then we look at the fact that he's stepping up at 154 pounds. We've seen his effect, the punch effect that he's had at 35, 140, 147. And the question we all ask is, when is too high? When is it too high?
Right.
You know, so it could be 154.
How hard does he hit, Sean? You've got personal experience. How do you compare him to other fighters?
I like to say, and he confirmed this when I spoke to him. He asked me how hard did I think Errol Spence hit hard. I said, man, come on, you don't feel it in the moment. He said, yeah, you're right. We truly do not feel it in the moment. Adrenaline is going. Thought processes are happening. I know for a fact, if I stop and acknowledge that punch that I got hit with, there's another one coming right behind it, you know? So,
but there's got to be times when you're in the ring with somebody and you think, oh, okay.
Like you can feel somebody when they push you, and it's like, man, that's strength, you know? The body shots, those last a little bit longer. That effect lasts a little longer. So there are punches that you will feel in the moment, but for the most part, it's kind of like you're rolling with the punches, you're doing what you got to do, and you don't feel much of it.
What's the scariest thing about Bud?
Man, the scariest thing about Bud is his thought processes. The way he knows how to think. He thinks ahead of you, and he does not give you a ounce of feeling that you are getting over on him. I know that I was winning the fight that I had against him, and somehow, some way, he gave me this cold look the entire fight and never gave me any confidence that I was getting the best of him. And I think that's
becomes like a mental war.
It's a weapon for him.
Right.
It truly is.
Got you. Okay, well, tell you what, let's bring in some of the rest of our team for this evening. Ade Oladipo, Chris Mannix, they are over on the walkout stage, which is all the way behind us over there. We've had Fight Week in LA. Brilliant fight card. Eminem performance coming up. Are we hyped?
We are super hyped, Kate. This is incredible. I've been fortunate enough to have done a few big fights in stadiums and arenas. This is truly one of the best settings I've ever seen, and rightly so, when the pound-for-pound king of boxing, Terence Crawford, is in the building. But he's in the building with a lot of pressure. You know, it's not often that a guy jumps up in weight class, fights an unbeaten guy, and he walks in as a big favorite.
Walks in as a big favorite and facing a tough opponent, but the added pressure is not just about Terence Crawford facing Israel Madrimov. It's what comes next if he beats Israel Madrimov, and that could be a matchup with Canelo Alvarez. Earlier this week, Turki Al-Sheikh, he spoke to ESPN, and he made it clear that he wants to see that fight happen. He wants to see Terence Crawford against Canelo Alvarez. Here's what he said to ESPN. I don't want anyone in the middle. I guarantee Crawford a big fight. I want Canelo for Crawford, and Crawford wants Canelo. But if Canelo goes crazy with his financial demands, I'll still guarantee Crawford any fight he wants. Now, I asked Crawford earlier this week about the Canelo fight and exactly why it's so important to him to get it.
That would be the legacy-defining fight to take me to one of the greatest of all times, to go from 135 all the way up to 168 and to conquer the bigger, stronger guy like Usyk did Tyson Fury. And that will go in the history books forever. And I don't think it'll never be duplicated.
You know, I was lucky enough to be in the room when you did that interview, and look, I asked Terence Crawford in the week, I asked his trainer as well, Bomac, are you not slightly overlooking Madrimov when you know the big carrot dangled in front of you is a super fight against Canelo? They said they're fully focused on Madrimov. I don't know how you can be when the Canelo fight is looming.
Yeah, I think you might be right, because it's not just that the Canelo fight is looming, but Israel Madrimov was not the first choice of Terence Crawford for this fight. You remember, he was in talks to do the rematch with Errol Spence last year. After that, it was Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. Israel Madrimov was kind of the guy that was just there after the Fundora fight fell apart, the Tszyu fight fell apart, the Spence fight, of course, fell apart. So, look, I think Terence has been around long enough to know you can't look past anyone, but certainly he has got bigger fish to fry in boxing, and if he wins tonight, he is going to get that opportunity.
Yeah, that's our main event. Our first fight of the night sees a local guy from Saudi Arabia, Ziad Almaayouf. Now, Chris never gets love from anywhere. Chris, this guy loves you. How has this happened? Why?
Listen, I'm big in the Middle East.
clearly that you are. This is the clip of it. Have a listen to this.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Chris. And again, bucket list checked off to be interviewed by Chris Mannix. Go tell a 10-year-old Arab fighter that one day this is gonna happen, and watch the look on their faces. But one day, many more are gonna come after me. That's the mission. Chris Mannix is a legend, and if you boo Chris Mannix, I'm coming for you too.
All right, 1 second, Chris. How much have you paid him to say this, Chris?
Look, the Philly
fans. How much have you paid him to say this?
The Philly fans love me or hate me, but I told you I'm massive in the Arab world. There's a group of kids in gyms right now watching this event saying, you know what? In a few years' time, I'm going to be right here in the U.S. being interviewed by Chris Mannix during a fight week. Dreams can't come true, kids.
I'm not quite sure about those dreams. Those are called nightmares, Chris. Okay, anyway, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much. Why have you never stood up for Chris Mannix like that? I've never heard you say that.
I don't need to stand up for Chris Mannix. He stands up for himself.
Okay. All right. Listen, everybody, it is time to welcome in the other two members of our broadcast team tonight. Former WBC junior middleweight world champ Sergio Mora, Todd Grisham. How lucky are you guys? Look at that, in the sunshine, standing by the ring. Must be
so
nice.
Close.
It's nice. We're very shaded, and I'd be remiss if I didn't allow Sergio to take a shot at Chris Mannix there. Would you like to add in on that?
Almaayouf doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, you know what you're talking about when it comes to 154 pounds. You were a former junior middleweight champion. You're about 50 pounds north of that now, but let's not get into that. Let's get into Terence Crawford moving up to that weight division to face a natural 154-pounder in Madrimov. What should he expect?
You know, that's the tricky part about moving up in weight. That's why it's so difficult. Only great fighters, let me emphasize, great fighters can move up 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions to do that. So Crawford needs to understand that it's not going to be power. You know, it's not going to be power. it's going to be the fight IQ. It's going to be his meanness. It's going to be the size, the range, the fact that he does it from the lefty stance or the righty stance, and he's always pressuring you. Like Sean Porter said, he was in there with him. He's just wearing down on you mentally, physically, until you break down.
Yeah, but you know, I looked on the scales yesterday. Of course, I'm not looking through them through the eyes of a former boxer. They look the exact same size, and you keep saying Madrimov's bigger. I'm like, he's not bigger. I'm looking right at him. Why am I wrong?
Are you going to believe me or your lying eyes?
I'm wrong.
Or your lying eyes? You're wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because Madrimov has dense muscle. He's more of a, just like Golovkin. He had that swimmer's body. It's not all muscular, but it's dense. It's very strong. It's very wide. You could see it in the chest. Look at his chest. He looks like a barrel. You know, his torso is stronger. Now, Crawford, yes, he did fill out nicely. He has the wide shoulders to do that. He has the height to do that. But as far as the muscle, you could easily see the thickness in the muscle of Madrimov, the neck, everything is going to be on the size of him, and let alone the strength and the power once he starts feeling it. So, trust me, he's bigger.
You heard it there. Former junior middleweight champion of the world. Let's show you what we have in store for you tonight. We've got a great 6-fight card that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it is loaded from top to bottom. And I know people say that all the time, but this is arguably the greatest fight card ever assembled. All of these fights, well, at least the last 4 for sure, could be major main events. We start with Andy Cruz, the Cuban sensation, David Morrell, who could be fighting David Benavidez next. Who knows? Jared Anderson versus Martin Bakole, the next great American heavyweight. Is Bakole going to blast him out? Ruiz is back, the former champ, against Jarrell Miller. Isaac Cruz, the people's champ, taking on another tough Mexican in Jose Valenzuela. And then, of course, the main event, Crawford and Israel Madrimov. But we've got 2 free fights for you, as I like to call them. It's our prelims tonight, and it's the man who loves Chris Mannix in our opener. Are you going to be able to take this with Zizou?
Well, listen, I hope he can fight, because he can sure sell a fight. He's like a politician. They did a good job with Almaayouf coming over here because he's presented himself excellently.
And then it's Steve Nelson and Marcos Ramon Vasquez, 2 men that are undefeated. Someone's O has got to go. This program is sponsored by Dr. Suleiman Al Habib, delivering state-of-the-art healthcare services throughout the Middle East.
Come and ride through tales untold. Watch as stories unfold and feel a welcome you've never felt. Welcome to a journey you've never imagined. Welcome to Arabia, Saudi.
We welcome you back here to Southern California as the man known as Zizou Almaayouf, Ziad Almaayouf, who's 5-0 with 1 knockout, makes his debut outside of his country. And in the ring right now, we see Steven So-Cold Nelson getting loose. He's got a big fight tonight, Sergio.
Yes, he does. I mean, against another undefeated fighter. This is what you want to see. The winner moves on, the loser takes a step back, and he's dealing with a tough, very tough Mexican southpaw, tall, rangy, good power in Marcos Vasquez. This is going to be a tricky fight. The winner goes on, loser goes home.
Now we're getting DAZN.
And now Chris Mannix's favorite fighter. Chris, give us some insight as to what he does in the ring.
Listen, I'm a huge fan.
We need to turn Chris's microphone on.
Chris's mic?
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Ziad Almaayouf because he's a huge fan of me, but he is an interesting young prospect, 5-0 in his young career, and he's trained by the great Buddy McGirt, who, of course, has trained many fighters over the years, Arturo Gatti, Sergey Kovalev, among others, and they have really gotten to work, guys, on this kid's aggressiveness. They believe he does have some pure boxing talent. They just want to see him come forward a little bit more and look for stoppages, so expect to see a little bit of that tonight.
And now to the man that will be fighting him, Sergio, fighting out of Poland, Michael Bulik.
Yeah, the Bulik, southpaw, you know, short, stocky southpaw, not much power, but he does know how to get a little rough on the inside. You know, he's one of these veterans, even though he doesn't have many fights. He's one of these guys that wants to get in, break the range, and fight like a small man.
So let's start with our tail of the tape here, our first fight of what will be a historic night of fights. Zizou, 24 years old, 5'10", 4 inches taller than Michael Bulik. who has a 6-7 record with 2 knockouts. Zizo 5-0 with 1 KO.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get things started in the welterweight division. Let's first welcome to the ring from Poland, Michał Taz Bulik.
Making his U.S. debut, all of his fights to date have been staged in Mexico, not in Poland. He goes to Mexico to fight, and we see a lot of young fighters do that, Sergio.
Yeah, Devin Haney was one of the success stories coming out of Mexico. You know, you never know what you're going to get when you go down there because the commission is a lot different than in the States or other parts of the world, so it can be tricky. Now, the fighters down there, they're going to be tough. They're not going to be more polished, but they're going to be tough, so you can bet Bulik is going to be, he's weathered. He's weathered through the storm already. You can bet that he's going to handle any kind of toughness thrown his way.
Who's going to win? According to our fan zone, Michael Bulik going to come up short, according to 63% of you. If you're watching on the DAZN app, jump on board.
You know, and obviously a fight like this viewed as something of an exhibition for Ziad Almaayouf, a chance for him to showcase his talents on one of these cards. But I think Michael Bulik has the potential to be a spoiler here. Don't be fooled by that losing record. He has lost 5 fights in a row. 4 of them have gone the distance. And he's faced better competition up until this point than Almaayouf. So we'll see what happens when these two meet in the ring.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, the undefeated Ziad Zizo Almaayouf.
Ziad Almaayouf, an interesting route to the boxing ring. He was good at tennis, but was attracted to boxing after seeing a coach with pads training kids, and he wanted to do it, but his dad said no. But his mother said, you know what? I think you'd be good at it. Just don't tell Pops. We'll keep it a secret. And a year later, Dad found out. And he was, oh no, is Dad going to go crazy? But no, Dad said, I see how good you are. I see how dedicated you are. I'm going to let you keep doing it. And now we've got the family kumbaya behind him, and he's unbeaten, sir.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, this is the type of guy that could be good in plenty of things, whether it's tennis or boxing. I think he could be a politician or a promoter one time because he knows how to handle himself in the limelight, in front of the cameras, with a microphone in his mouth. He says all the right things. Now it's time to fight. Now it's time to see, we're going to criticize you on your boxing ability. A lot of riding on his shoulders, but he's exciting for this moment. He's undefeated. Let's see what he has.
Yeah, he was excited because 2 years ago this week, he was supposed to make his pro debut right here in Los Angeles. His opponent failed a drug test at the last minute. He fell out. He has fought abroad for his last 5 fights in Saudi Arabia, in Poland, in the UK. He is as excited as anyone on this card to be here in LA today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Riyadh Season Card, a great night of World Championship Boxing, live from BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, California. We would first like to start by giving a big thank you to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey, Al-Sheikh. We get things started with 6 rounds scheduled in the welterweight division. brought to you by DAZN and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, and promoted by Eddie Hearns, Matchroom Boxing, Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Sella and Gold Star Promotions. Our 3 judges assigned will be Chris Lieben, Benoit Roussel, and Zach Young. Our referee in charge will be Sharon Sands. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 142.4 pounds. Hailing from Opole, Poland, he has a professional record of 6 wins, 7 defeats, with 2 of his 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mikhail Taz Bulik. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing a white with green and weighed in officially at 144 pounds. Coming to us from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he is undefeated with 5 wins, 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of the Arab world, Ziad Zizo Almaayouf.
You got the mouthpiece?
Ziad, Mikhail. Ziad. Gentlemen, we're going 6 rounds. Protect yourself at all times. Obey all commands. Here's the belt line on each. Respect that. Touch gloves. Come out at the belt. Thank you.
Well, this is set up for Almaayouf to look really good. His opponent on a 5-fight losing streak has lost 6 of his last 7. As it's Ziad Almaayouf versus Michael Bulik.
Box.
Saudi Arabia versus Poland, our first fight of the night here from Los Angeles, California, BMO Stadium.
You know, 2 things to watch early on from Almaayouf. One is that aggressiveness I was talking about. Buddy McGirt has really pressed him to become a more front foot fighter. The other is the jab. We know Buddy McGirt fighters, they love to throw that jab out there. How effective can he do that in a fight like this tonight?
Nice right hand there by Almaayouf. But what I don't like is how he blocks on the opposite side of his face. Notice his right hand is blocking the left side of his face. The entire right side of Almaayouf's face is open for an overhand looping left hand from Bulik.
It is 88 degrees here local. How's that affect a fighter in the ring, Sergio, when they're used to fighting at like 72 degrees?
No, 88's cool. I mean, as long as no humidity, we're fine. I'm telling you guys, I don't like that, the way Almaayouf is blocking that side of his face. It's bound to catch up to him. I mean, Bulik is going to go around that guard. You can't keep blocking right that same position. If you are going to do that, you check the other side. You know, you check the left side, and then you bring your hand around to check your right side. You just don't leave it in front of the left side of your face. Either way, he's on good right hands. You can see that he does have some strength, even though he hasn't translated into power. He does have strength behind those punches.
I'm assuming you're not talking about Bulik.
No, I'm talking about Almaayouf.
Yeah, Bulik, 2 knockouts in his 6 wins, 13 total bouts.
Almaayouf doesn't have a high knockout ratio either, but he is strong. He's a strong puncher.
Yeah, 24 years old. Dreamed of coming to America and learning the sweet science, so he enrolled in a university in Los Angeles and walked into Wildcard Gym.
You know, I can't say, Sergio, I've seen too many fighters with the style of Almaayouf. His defensive, plan is to kind of parry punches with that left hand. He's keeping it up and trying to paw them away as they're coming in.
Yeah,
right hand, sorry.
And you're bound to. I used to love when opponents would want to paw my punches. I'll just pretend or fake that punch and go around the guard. It's not going to take long for a fighter to figure out that guard. So that's something you might want to work on. Just not leaving that right hand on the left side of his face.
Well, Sergio, he's got a world-renowned trainer behind him. Why haven't they switched his defensive stance?
No, because I'm not saying you need to switch the stance. It works for him. He's throwing nice punches. All you got to do is alternate that jab from blocking the left side of your face and then bring it to the right side and go back and forth. Just don't leave it on the left side.
Like a windshield wiper.
There you go. Or just leave it like a the regular technique of a fighter. Just keep him by the both sides of your face. Either way, good first round from Almaayouf. Nice jab.
The fight I'm most looking forward to tonight, no love lost between these two. Jared Anderson, Martin Bakole. Anderson undefeated in 17 fights, but now faces his toughest task ever in Bakole, who is an absolute monster, is he not, Sergio?
He's scary. That's a scary man right there. I mean, Bakole wants to intimidate, wants to take the heart of Anderson. Anderson is athletic, he's gifted, very confident. That's one of the fights of the night.
Okay, but when you throw the right hand, step in. Okay? Now, if he starts catching it, jab, jab, shoot the right hook. But stay down. Defense, offense and defense right away. Okay? Very good. Stay smart in there. Okay?
Offense and defense. I mean, anytime you listen to Buddy McGirt in the corner, the entire minute is knowledge. You got to soak that up. Everything he said was beautiful and perfect.
Chris, you kind of looked over at Sergio and gave him a look there after round one. What was that about?
He thought it was a good round for Almaayouf, and I think it was competitive. I just think the first half of that round, we saw Bulik land a lot of these straight left hands. I don't think either one of these guys is landing with any kind of power, but I thought Bulik did pretty well in that round.
Bulik threw some nice right hands to the chest, to the belly. You know, he pressed the punch, but I like the punches by Almaayouf, and you can see, you can hear the snap. You can hear the snap, and I love the fact that he's keeping the fight in the middle of the ring, Almaayouf.
Oh, nice right to the body by Zizou.
Yeah, this is a much better start to the round for Almaayouf.
Beautiful jab right there. I love that. When you're dealing with shoulder fighters, especially southpaws, you got to get them on the back foot. Just keep backing them up with that jab. But alternate that jab to the chin, to the chest, to the belly. Don't keep throwing the exact same one because you will get caught.
And Sergio, just if you were listening to this fight and weren't able to see it, you could tell whose punches were landing harder because Zizou's are much louder.
And that's why I gave him the first round. I mean, yes, Bulik had his moments, but I really like Almaayouf's snap.
First fight of 8 total fights tonight, including 6 on our main card, which begins at 9 Eastern. Nice lefts walking in.
Good shot there by Bulik. It's really interesting. Both these guys don't have knockouts on their resume. You know, not many at least, but they both look like they really punch hard. They sound hard.
And Zizou trying to swarm him, and off the ropes comes Bulik, and all of a sudden we got a pretty good scrap here.
I like the body work of Almaayouf during that sequence. Kept the fight downstairs, did some good damage there.
And how about a shout out to those fans who are here this early in this sunshine and heat because they love the sport, as this arena will eventually fill to capacity. It is sold out.
Nice left hand by Bulik right there. Man, I'm seeing a little bit of a lot of things with Almaayouf. He could take a shot too.
Bulik showing some toughness as well. Can't discount what he's doing at left land.
No, I'm not discounting. He's landing some good shots. It's a really good fight. Evenly matched. See, that's the shot that I was talking about that could land. Good body shot by Bulik on the inside. It's a looping left, but he needs to set it up.
Almaayouf is 11 years younger than Bulik. You'd think he might be able to have a little more juice at the end of this fight if it goes the distance.
And he's 4 inches taller, but he's giving up that height by being aggressive and stepping over his front foot when he jabs. See how he steps over his front foot when he jabs? You need to stay behind the front foot.
So he's a little too eager.
Well, he's falling off balance by doing that. Yeah, he's eager, falling off balance, going forward with the jab.
I don't think he's a little too eager. I just think his style is just weird, right? He just sort of leans forward and presents a target.
Awkward. Yeah. There you see, that's what I'm talking about. He's with Almaayouf. He punches over his foot, so he falls off balance once he starts missing. But when he is touching something, when he is landing, they look crisp. They look nice. It's the balance. Everything comes from the bottom, the foundation. And I think that's what's lacking with Almaayouf, because Bulik, he actually landed some good shots in that round. That was a really good round for Bulik. Both had their moments, but I like the body shots by Bulik.
Mannix, you in agreement?
I think we have, at this point, we both have it 1-1. We just scored each round differently.
Yeah. Well, that's what we like about you, too.
I don't do it on purpose.
One of you's always wrong.
I see what I see. That's good. I see what I see.
Double jab from Almaayouf, a native of Saudi. Now he lives here in Los Angeles. His last 4 have gone the distance after scoring a knockout in his debut. He made it clear to everyone he's going for the KO here, but it's not going to be easy against this very tough Polish fighter, and Michael Bulik.
No, it's not going to be easy. Look, tough body shot there by Bulik while Almaayouf comes inside. If he's looking for the knockout, he's going to have to forget the jab, which is his best weapon. Lead right hands now. Lead right hands if you're Almaayouf.
Good uppercut from Bulik. He's better than that 6-7 record, is he not, Sergio?
Yes, he is. He's a strong southpaw, and his knockout ratio is better than only the 2 knockouts on his 6 wins. You can hear the thump. You can hear that he has heavy hands. He just fights good opponents.
Starting to see some redness on the face of Almaayouf. Good right.
Not many body shots from Almaayouf. You know, I think he needs to alternate that jab to the gut and to the chest, but he has to bend those knees and make himself a smaller target.
You know, you can hear the instructions from the corner of Almaayouf. Buddy McGirt wants him to continue to move forward, and when he lands, he wants him not to step back and kind of admire it. He wants him to keep throwing punches when he has his opponent pinned against the ropes.
The funny part is, once he has him pinned against the ropes, those straight shots that he's good at from a distance, they're not as good on the inside. So that's when he starts to need to do the hooks, the smaller hooks and uppercuts.
What's going on?
Mouthpiece came out of Almaayouf.
Come on, let's hurry it up. Get down here and get in there. Hurry it up, please. Get in there.
I like the calm instructions. Calm, direct.
Get it in there.
Yep.
Get that mouthpiece in, Zion.
Almaayouf trying to use that jab to get on the inside, but it's strange because he's the longer fighter, Sergio, but he wants to fight on the inside, and that is certainly giving him some good entertaining exchanges.
Yes, it has, but it's giving Bulik an opportunity. I seen the first left hook land by Almaayouf. He threw 3 or 4 straight jabs, and then finally threw a left hook that bounced off the head of Bulik. I want to see more of those combinations.
I do think the pressure that Almaayouf has been applying early in this fight is starting to get to Bulik a little bit. You see him fighting with his mouth open. He's had to move a lot in these first 3 rounds.
Digging downstairs and upstairs. Nice head movement from Almaayouf.
10 seconds.
Nice rights. Just when you think that Bulik is fading, he comes alive. Good exchange to end round 3. This is good stuff.
Very good stuff. And Bulik is in this fight now. He landed some good overhand shots right there.
What's the matter? You're doing good, baby. What's the matter with you? Hey, nice deep breath, let out slow. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your breathing. Slow it down. Okay, it's round 4. Listen to me, Ziz. Listen to me. You're doing fine now. The last part of the round was beautiful. Okay? Hey, stop looking for the knockout. Just score points. You understand me? This motherfucker's just as tired as you are. Okay? Relax. Slow down your breathing, Ziz. Hey, all this fucking
unorthodox uppercut coming from the bottom. Almaayouf caught him with a check hook. But I'm telling you right now, Bulik landed some good, clean overhand shots. I think he's finally getting the timing and the range like that of Almaayouf. So Almaayouf better be careful coming in on the front door just with that jab. Upper body movement and tight defense.
Round 4, and it was interesting to hear in the corner Almaayouf being told he's just as tired as you are, because Chris Mannix was mentioning that he thought Bulik was really struggling. Well, he's doing what you ask almost every fighter to do, Sergio, doubling up the jab.
No, the jab is his best weapon. There's nothing wrong there. It just, that's what's wrong right there. The upper body movement is not moving. The hand defense and the positioning is in the weird spot. So when he does do good work with that jab, he ends up getting hit with the looping shot by Bulik.
Bulik is doing very well on the inside. And for some reason, Almaayouf more than happy to go in there and engage.
And Buddy McGirt saying between rounds there, don't try to knock this guy out. Effectively telling him, just get your punches together. Let's throw combinations here. Let's not look for that one-punch stoppage.
Nice right hand there by Almaayouf. I would love to see him throw straight right hands. I think Almaayouf hurt Bulik to the body. It was a right hook to the body. Bulik is backing up and covering the left side of his body now.
But right, I'm telling you, right when you start to count him out, he comes to life.
Good body shots there by Almaayouf. Maybe he sees that Bulik doesn't like the body shots.
And then Bulik gonna dig downstairs as well. And Sergio, sometimes the best defense for your body hurting is to go on offense.
You have to keep the guy off you, or else, you know, even when you're blocking punches, they're still having an impact, especially when you're hurt. When you already got hit with a clean shot, even blocking the shot's gonna continue being hurt. It's still gonna resonate.
Under a minute to go here in round 4, what has been a really entertaining bout.
Ooh.
Hopefully this is a precursor of things to come from BMO Stadium.
Bulik is barely missing some big punches right now. Almaayouf better start moving that head.
Sergio, in an environment like this, you can hear everything that Buddy McGirt is saying in the corner. If you're a fighter, is that what you want? Do you want moment-by-moment instructions?
Not moment by moment, just give me 1 or 2 gems. Other than that, no.
Bulik's got blood coming out of his nose now and is wandering away. And you wonder if Almaayouf is finally breaking him down.
Well, he landed some good body shots in this round. I don't think Bulik liked those punches. And anytime a fighter starts breathing with his mouth open, it's because he wants to catch more air and he's probably hurt to the body.
Oh, but he set that one up perfect and landed a left.
Good shot to the gut by Bulik.
Odsuń się troszkę, wiem, że chcesz pluć, zrobić noc. Jest, bo leci krew. Niech ci przetrze. To niech ci wytrze, bo wygląda jakby ci kradło z nosa.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Let me wipe for you, okay? Wait, give it. I got it. Okay.
Here we see Bulik getting a little angle. Little short left hand right there. Coming from a 45-degree angle, and this is what I mean by Almaayouf punching over his feet. See, there's no power in that. Even though the head went back, there's no power in that because he's punching over his feet. So he needs to start working on that in the gym. If you are going to go forward, you got to take your feet with you and just don't go over your front foot. You know who used to go over the front foot a lot, and in some weird way it's similar here, is Amir Khan. But Amir Khan was so athletic and so fast that he got away with it.
For a while, anyway.
For a while, exactly.
Bulik has only been stopped once, by the way, and that was by Campbell Hatton, the son of Hall of Famer Ricky Hatton. So if Almaayouf is able to get him out of there, he'll only be the second person to do it, even though Bulik has lost 7 times.
No, this is a perfect opponent for a fighter with only 5 fights in Almaayouf. 1, he's tough. 2, he's a southpaw. 3, he came
and he clipped him with that left as well. Bulik may be finding his second win.
No, he's been hitting him with those looping shots. The straight shots are by Almaayouf. The looping shots are by Bulik. But I'm telling you, the looping shots hurt a little bit more.
Again, Bulik got the best of that shot.
And some blood now coming from the face of Almaayouf.
Oh, step in left hand. And Michael Bulik is starting to take control of this fight.
I'm telling you, this is what I've been seeing. Almaayouf is not moving his head. He's keeping him the same target. The hand doesn't move from the left side. So it's only a matter of time for a fighter in front of him to find an opening.
Where is he finding this energy, Chris? We were riding him off 3 rounds ago.
Look, I think he's certainly struggling conditioning-wise, but he's still able to get those sharp left hands off. And to Sergio's point, Almaayouf has been giving him largely a stationary target. It's number one.
Correction, Todd, you two were riding him off.
And a mouthpiece came out again, and they let him fight. And again, he's put everything in those punches, Sergio. He sat down on it.
Absolutely. I love the fact that the referee didn't stop the action either. Mouthpieces on the floor. They're engaging. Love it. Excellent job by the referee.
And I think Zizo will appreciate this little reprieve.
All right, you can't lose it no more, Ziad. All right? Let's go. Miguel.
Hey, a point deduction could be huge right now. This is a close fight. Nice jabs on the inside as Zizo walks forward.
Now it's Almaayouf on the back foot. And he looks at it like he's a little winded.
Well, if he does get through this fight with a win, Almaayouf will have certainly picked up a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, that's what these fights are for, experience. You go through the fire, you get that victory, polish up your offense.
But if he's not careful, that experience could be his first loss. 20 seconds left here in round 5, which has been largely dominated by Bulik.
10 seconds, guys. Stop the bell. 10 seconds. 2, 1. Time!
Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully, sir. This is the last round, okay? Now you gotta go out and you gotta finish the show good, Ziz. You understand me?
Last round.
You gotta close the show good, okay? You got 3 minutes.
Gotta close the show good. Buddy McGirt saying what he needs to say, because it's shots like that, looping shots, that's right on the chin of Almaayouf. And every round, he's been landing those shots over the top. I mean, yeah, the straight shots are with Almaayouf, but the ones that get your attention and buzz you are shots like that. Looping shots. That's when you get more power and more torque behind the punch.
Punch him up, break clean.
Which fighter would you rather be, Chris?
I think at this stage, I'd rather be Almaayouf, because I think he did bank enough rounds early to give himself a lead going into this one. But the momentum is very much on the side of Bulik. He had his most effective round there in the 5th.
And they're both giving it everything. You gotta appreciate the effort from Almaayouf and Bulik here in our opening contest.
And you heard Buddy McGirt in the corner come short of saying you need to get a stoppage, but he was very clear. You need to win this round clean in order to come away with a win.
No, I just think win the round clean. I don't think he needs to go for the stoppage here.
Yeah, it feels like it's 3-2 right now, one way or the other. Maybe Zizou.
No, I agree with Chris. I have Zizou ahead. I think Almaayouf got the early rounds, but yeah, it's tricky right now. Right now, just be happy jabbing, stepping back on the back foot. Don't go for nothing silly. Don't go for the knockout in a 6-round fight.
Nice left hand there from Bulik. He's only fought beyond the 6th round once, but he has done it, so he's got more experience in this round than Almaayouf does.
Almaayouf finally looping his shots, hooking around the guard. He's been a straight-on puncher the entire time. Now he's trying to go around the guard.
Oh, that right just missed. It was set up on a tee for Bulik.
Watch it. There we go.
Man, what a learning experience by Almaayouf here. I mean, in a 6-round fight, he pretty much, he's gone through everything he could pretty much go through except get dropped. He's bleeding, he's been rocked, he's been hurt, he has to push back, he had his moments.
And what can you say about Bulik? A 6-7 record, has never fought in the United States before. He was supposed to be a target practice for Almaayouf, but he has been sensational based on his ability.
And 11 years older than the younger Almaayouf. 35 years old, you got to give him credit.
And he's still giving you good output, too.
Because there's no head movement from Almaayouf. From the first round, he's had the head the exact same way. It's just his legs and his jab has carried him, but he's susceptible for shots.
And now the chin's up. He got clipped there with 39 seconds to go. You still feel like one of these guys could be dropped.
Bulik breathing with his mouth wide open, which is very dangerous. You can get hit with a big shot and break your jaw.
Sergio, so is it Almaayouf. His mouth is wide open as well. Both these guys are gassed as we close out this sixth.
Oh, what a 6-round fight.
What a fight, period. His blood's pouring out of the nose and mouth of Almaayouf. 10 seconds to go. They're both exhausted, leaving it all in the ring. What a way to start a sensational night of fights. Almaayouf and Bulik. Am I just too excited? Was that really as exciting as I made it?
No,
I feel
it was good.
Okay.
It was good because both of them had their moments. Both of them are bleeding. It was a damn good 6-round fight.
It was a very well-matched fight. I mean, Almaayouf, young kid, not a lot of great experience. These are the fights he needs to take to advance in his pro career. And I think any manager would tell you that one of the hardest things to do in boxing is to find the right opponents for fighters at this stage. You look at a guy like Bulik, is he a 6-7 record, knockout loss to Campbell Hatton? Maybe he's going to be cannon fodder for Almaayouf. Instead, he gives him the toughest fight of his pro career.
Well, coming up later tonight on the main card, can Andy the Destroyer Ruiz overcome almost 2 years of ring rust to defeat the slimmed down Big Baby Miller? This one going to be fun while it lasts. Buy it now on DAZN.com. Well, Chris, what would your unofficial score be for this fight through 6 rounds?
9 and even. Scored it a draw. I thought Bulik, his rallying at the end did enough to make this fight even.
Wait a minute. Did you just change your tune, Chris Mannix?
No, I scored round by round, Sergio Mora.
Todd, what do you think there?
I think it's a draw, and maybe, just maybe, Bulik wins it 4 rounds to 2. Maybe. I know Mannix thought that Bulik may have won round 1. And if he did that, you got to at least give him the last 2 rounds, Chris. So that's 3 right there. And it's certainly taking a while to tabulate the numbers, as Thomas Triber now has the results. Here we go. Will it be Almaayouf or Michael Bulik? Let's find out.
Go in the center, go in the center.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Zachary Young scores it 59-55 in favor of Ziad Almaayouf.
Fucking shit.
And both judges, Benoit Roussel and Chris Lieben, are in agreement. They both scored the same, 57-57, a draw. This bout is a majority draw.
Fair result. They got it right, Sergio. At least that's the way it seems.
Yes, they did. Because look, I agree with Mannix. I think Almaayouf started good, but Bulik ended good. I mean, that was a draw-type fight, and I always say it all the time. These 4- and 6-rounders, very dangerous.
57-57 is exactly how I had it. Zachary Young is usually a very good judge. That 59-55 scorecard feels very wide to me, but look, hey, this was a fun fight. Let's run it back sometime later this year.
And of course, a draw is much better on your record than a loss when you're an undefeated fighter coming in. But Almaayouf's not going to forget this fight anytime soon.
And neither are we, because it was a good, really entertaining, good fight for a fighter with only 5 fights. And Almaayouf, you know, coming across to make his American debut. But credit to Bulik, because he was not here to be an opponent. They both had their moments. Excellent opening fight to start things off here.
So Almaayouf is now 5-0-1. Michael Bulik 6-7-1. But sometimes the undercard fights can be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than what you get on the main card, because you get these opponents in here and all you know about them is really their record, and that record of 6-7 does not fit the performance we just saw.
No, it does not, and he only been stopped one time, so you know he's tough. Look, when it comes to Almaayouf, he just needs to concentrate on his defense and upper body movement. That's the only thing I would say. That and alternate the jab.
Well, let's keep things moving here. Our second prelim fight about to make the walk as we go to our tail of the tape, and it's 2 undefeated fighters. Chris Mannix yesterday saying during the weigh-ins that this could steal the show tonight. Let's see. You got Steve Nelson, 36 years old, 19-0 with 15 KOs versus Marcos Ramon Vasquez. 20 wins, no losses, and a draw. Very competitive matchup scheduled for 10 rounds.
Now in the super middleweight division, let's first welcome to the ring from Mexico, the undefeated Marcos Ramon Sordo Vasquez.
El Zurdo Vasquez. That means lefty, southpaw, just like Gilberto Ramirez. But tough Mexican, undefeated, 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 10 by knockout. Tall for the midweight as well, almost 6 foot. I mean, this is what you want to see on a big card. When you're on the undercard on a big card, you're going to face another either unbeaten fighter, another one on your level. Someone's gotta go. It sounds cliche, but this is what undercards are all about. Make or break.
Well, when you look at the record, 20-0-1, it's very sparkly, but when you dig into those numbers, Chris, only 9 of his 21 opponents had winning records, and only 5 of his foes came into bouts with him off a victory.
Yeah, he certainly has had some soft touches on that resume, but as we saw with the last fight, you know, sometimes the record, who knows what you're going to get in a fight like this, and I think you're going to get a good test here from Steven Nelson, who is one of the bigger punchers right around that weight class.
According to the Fan Zone, you guys like so cold. Steve Nelson, 66% to 34. Join Fan Zone on the DAZN app now. Fighting in the United States for the first time ever. All 21 of his prior bouts were in Mexico.
And now let's welcome to the ring from the United States, undefeated, Steve So Cold Nelson.
So here comes Steven So Cold Nelson, who's facing his biggest challenge in the ring, while simultaneously, Chris, dealing with the biggest challenge of his life outside the ring.
Yeah, Steven Nelson turned pro at the age of 29, Army veteran, big, strong, super middleweight, 15 knockouts on his resume. His fights only average about 4 rounds per fight. He has had some issues outside the ring. He last fought on the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence undercard last year, so he's going through a long layoff boxing related. In April, he was arrested for his involvement in a shooting that resulted in a 14-year-old girl being shot. That case will go to trial later this year. But he is, as a fighter, someone that has been a fixture on these Terrence Crawford undercards in recent years. Trained by Bomac, Brian McIntyre, lives and trains in Omaha, Nebraska. So he's hoping that this big stage, this big spotlight for Terrence Crawford will generate some eyeballs towards him as well.
Skill-wise, Sergio, how do you rate Steven Nelson?
Really good. Really good fighter. Crafty, strong, smart, long reach. Very long reach. Excellent counterpuncher.
(19-0), 15 KOs, and as you see on your screen, was an Olympic alternate back in 2012.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with 10 rounds scheduled in the super middleweight division. Brought to you by DAZN and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA. And promoted by Eddie Hearns, Matchroom Boxing, Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Sella and Gold Star Promotions in association with League One. It is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chair Peter Villegas, Executive Officer Andy Foster. Our 3 judges assigned will be Max DeLuca, Robert Hoyle, and Alejandro Roshin. Our referee in charge will be Ray Corona. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing a white with blue and weighed in officially at 167.6 pounds. Coming to us from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. He brings an undefeated record with 20 wins, 1 draw, 10 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marcos Ramon El Sordo Vasquez. And his opponent across the ring fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing a light blue with red and weighed in the same as his opponent, 167.6 pounds. Hailing from Omaha, Nebraska, USA. He is undefeated with 19 wins. 15 of his 19 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Steve So Cold Nelson.
So cold. Aquí. Portador. Let's go, gentlemen. Mouthpiece. Good. Right here is good still. Right here is good still. You want to touch gloves? Do it now. God bless.
Steven Nelson, the U.S. Army veteran, preparing for the biggest fight of his life. A win here, and he could really get a major opportunity next. There's Marcus Vasquez. Is he as good as his record indicates? We are about to find out.
Ready?
And as far as yeah, I know where you're going.
And how about the trunks?
Boxing, as far as boxing trunks go, those are some of the best boxing trunks I've ever seen.
I love them. It looks like a cartoon. Oh, man.
So Marcos Vasquez in the white trunks. Steven So Cold Nelson needs to pull his britches up. Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix ringside. A cavalcade of stars throughout the night. Kate Abdo's here, Sean Porter, Ade Oladipo. The list goes on and on.
Love that counter punch already by So Cold Nelson, stepping back and catching the southpaw with a straight right hand, sweeping left hook. That punch is going to be there the entire fight as long as it lasts. But I love the fact that I'm seeing so early in this first round.
Nice body shot left to the body from Vasquez.
No, it's going to be a good fight, evenly matched. Both of them are, you know, they're different type of fighters. You got more of a boxing-minded in Nelson, but he still has punch, and more of the fighting-minded Vasquez, but he does have good wily veteran tricks up his sleeve.
Vasquez coming off a 6-round decision win back in April. That was 124 days ago, so he should be pretty fresh.
Nice left hand by Vasquez. Just barely missed on Nelson, but that was a powerful left hand. And now he goes around the guard. Yeah. Vasquez knows what he's looking for. He's looking for that left hand. He threw 3 different types of left hands. Straight left hand, left hook, now a left uppercut. Smart fighter is Marcos Vasquez.
And he's wanting Nelson to come to him.
Yes, and that's an excellent point, Todd. Good eye. But right now it's way too early. Nelson respects Vasquez way too much. He respects the counter and he respects the power. Both of them.
Some fighters prefer to go backwards.
You know, whenever you're filling out rounds like this, you know, you want to see what the other guy's holding. This is where foot feints, you know, tell you the story. You got to start foot feinting. One of these guys needs to start, you know, there you go. There's a nice little upper body movement and feint by Nelson. That will show you what the other guy's thinking, what your opponent's thinking, getting him to bite on his offense. Ooh.
That was a great counter right hand to the body from Steven Nelson.
Yeah, but it started off by Nelson dipping and using his defense, getting the body shots.
Trains in the same gym with Terrence Crawford under the tutelage of Bulik.
Of the belt, gentlemen.
He's getting the best you can get in the preparation for this fight.
Different approaches going in that front door, okay? Different approaches going into that front door, all right? Change the speeds on your punch and change the speed on how you get there, on your step, okay? Keep the defense tight once you get there, like Red said. You got to let the hands keep your breath, okay? Keep stepping, let's go.
Steven Nelson, not the most active fighter around, hasn't fought since last July. That was his only fight in 2023, and he only fought once in 2022 and didn't fight at all in 2021.
Oh, he's been on sort of the Terrence Crawford schedule in a way. He's been fighting on the Crawford undercards, and Crawford, even though he's been in some big fights over the last few years, has been relatively inactive on a once-a-year type of pace.
Good left to the body from Nelson. Vasquez holding his ground now. First round, he was constantly backpedaling.
Yeah, you can see that he's a lot more flat-footed, looking to land a hard counter shot on Nelson now.
Again downstairs from Nelson, and that seemed to affect Vasquez. Again there.
What an excellent counter punch. I mean,
I think he's hurt, Sergio. I think he's hurt to the body.
Nelson's a hell of a body puncher. He caught his attention that first round. Now he's really hurting him downstairs. They were good shots. I don't think he's hurt top, but they were good shots. It caught his attention. I love the fact that Nelson has good balance, good foundation. Even when he misses a shot, he doesn't step over his front foot. He stays in punching position. Good technique, good balance by Steven Nelson. See that? Look, he paused that jab. He throws that jab away just to get a reaction by Vasquez to sweep him with a hook. Vasquez ain't falling for it yet.
Yeah, I think Nelson's starting to create a little bit of uncertainty with Vasquez. You see that guard moving up and down. He's not exactly sure where those shots from Nelson are coming from.
Vasquez doesn't have as many knockouts as Nelson, but it looks like he hits harder, Sergio.
The sound sounds harder, but I like the cleaner accuracy of Nelson's punches. But yeah, you never know. You know, they sound thumpier, right? You can hear them from Vasquez. I would like to see.
I think it's just great acoustics in this arena. Every punch seems amplified.
Right now it is. It's quiet.
Wait till Eminem drops the beat.
So I like that fade right there by Vasquez. That's the first one I've seen from both men. He kind of dipped down, try to get a reaction from Nelson. Nelson didn't give him one. Good shot.
Nice from Vasquez. Zurdo, the lefty, connecting. Nelson seemed to be winning the beginning of this round, the body work, but here comes Marcos.
I think if you're Nelson, you got to continue to be patient and keep investing in that body. You know, he obviously has been feeling some of these early body shots. Keep going down there. It'll pay off when you get to the middle rounds.
Our co-main event of the evening, Jose Valenzuela and Pitbull Cruz. Sergio, what will that fight be like?
Look, and I would love to predict a knockout, but I think Valenzuela's in excellent shape. He's ready for this fight. He has the experience. He has a great trainer in his corner, and Robert Garcia. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I think it goes a distance, but man, it could always end with Pitbull Cruz.
There's the body work, Sergio. And he just kept coming with it, Steven Nelson did. He dominated the first minute of the fight.
Yeah, like I said originally, you know, I think that caught that one probably hurt a little bit more. But the other two, there were two clean shots. And yeah, that takes it out of you. Win. I don't think it was quite hurt, but it caught his attention.
Round 3. Live from Los Angeles, California, as Riyadh season hits the United States for the first time ever with a mega card. And this is the second of our 2 prelims. Steven Nelson and Marcos Vasquez, both undefeated.
You know, for Nelson, he's got to start closing the distance a little bit better. This mid-range works better for Vasquez, able to stick that jab out. Fights more efficiently at this range. Nelson's better on the inside when he can throw those body shots. And we talked about the inactivity of Nelson, and he has been kind of a once-a-year guy. But you know, for Vasquez, he did fight this past day. Before that, it was 2021 when he was back in the ring. So he's dealt with some inactivity issues of his own.
Nelson's a really good fighter. He has a good radar. Look at his eyes. They're always thinking. They're always open. And he doesn't have to step back to make you miss. You know, he ducks in to make you miss and makes you pay, always hitting you.
And that sunshine is starting to creep into the ring a little bit. You wonder if that's going to affect things. Oh, nice. That split the guard, and Nelson back downstairs, trying to manipulate the guard and land an uppercut. And down he goes. That might have been a headshot.
That is a bad call. That is a bad call. That was a straight right hand. Look at Vasquez. He is hurt. That was a straight right hand from Steven Nelson that hurt Vasquez.
I agree, and I saw it.
Let's see if Nelson can finish him here if he's as hurt as we think he might be. Vasquez fighting for his life now.
Vasquez is not as hurt as he thought because he's coming back nicely.
But he's got blood pouring out of his nose now. And down he goes with a right hand. He's a bloody mess.
5, 6, 7, 8. ¿Quieres pelear? Camina allá. Hey, manos arriba. ¿Quieres pelear? Órale. Let's go.
You want to keep fighting? Walk over there. Hands up. Let's go.
Here it comes, Steven Nelson. Can he get his 16th professional knockout here in round 3? It's the biggest opportunity of his career.
Those are 2 knockdowns in this round. Only one got counted.
Vasquez trying to use offense for defense to keep Nelson away to survive this round. And that is a push down, and he makes it to the end of the round.
Levanta la pinche cara. No pasa nada. ¿Cómo te sientes? Bien. Ok. Es un pito. ¿Viste un pinche mal round, cabrón? Eso no define la pinche pelea. Quiero que se recupere bien, cabrón.
Look, I want you to recuperate. You're good. Let's go. Come on.
Es un pinche bro malo nomás.
It was just 2 hands that he landed, 2 punches.
Pásame la vaselina.
Give me the Vaseline.
Ponte a moverte, güey. No pasó nada.
Nah, nothing happened. Let's go.
There it is, Chris. The referee calling it a headbutt. Couldn't really tell from that angle. Here we go. Let's see.
You see them coming together. Oh, this is the second knockdown, the cleaner of the 2 knockdowns.
No,
right here. Instant replay said there was 2 knockdowns. This was a knockdown.
All right, so they have instant replay in California, which is excellent because that is an excellent use of instant replay. There may have been a clash of heads that occurred between Nelson and Vasquez, but it was the straight right hand from Steven Nelson that caused the damage that put Vasquez down. So great job by the California Commission in getting that right.
So instead of a 10-8 round, Sergio, it will now be a 10-7 round for Nelson.
And great job, Mannix, catching that because I saw that right hand as well. It was a clean knockdown, 2 knockdowns. Good job by Ray Corona as well, by bringing it back.
And you even saw from that camera angle that we first looked at, you couldn't really tell. So Corona's view may have been blocked, but in the end, they get it right.
No, that's what I mean. As long as they got it right.
Either way, Marcus Vasquez has got to turn everything around quick, and he's doing his best.
That was a good combination there by Vasquez. I don't think Nelson respected it, though. You could see the hunger in Marcos Vasquez's face when he got dropped. He got up. He was disappointed in himself. I mean, these are 2 undefeated fighters that don't know losing. They haven't tasted defeat.
Nelson on the inside, digging to the body. Vasquez obviously damaged goods, but all in all, he's looked pretty good in this round considering he got dropped twice in the 3rd.
Yeah, good little body shot there from Vasquez that backed Nelson up momentarily, but now he's got him back pinned against the ropes.
Both these fighters are really excellent fighters, right? I mean, I like the patience in Nelson's offense. You know, he throws all the right shots. He doesn't hurry his punches. Everything comes from over and under, around the guard. All the punch selection is there. Excellent fighter, Steven Nelson.
And he's just bullying Vasquez against the ropes, whose foundation still doesn't look right.
That was a short left hook right there that shook Vasquez. Vasquez's legs are not under him.
And Nelson picking him apart on the inside. Vasquez trying to find that one big landing shot, but he can't. Nowhere for Vasquez to go. He's got to just stay in the trenches and claw his way out.
If Nelson can actually flurry, you know, concentrate more on speed than power, I think that will actually get Ray Corona to maybe even stop this fight, or Vasquez's head bouncing around where it won't be a good look.
We got blood spraying all over our announce table.
How do you feel? I'm tired. Are you tired? Yes. Come on, man. You got to stay sharp for these rounds. Come on, get some air. You're going to get your second win right now. Don't worry. Come on, I need more punches, Marcos. Come on, give me the Vaseline. Just steady pressure by Nelson, throwing away that right hook. See, he threw away that straight right hand, and this is what I mean by punch selection. Normally, a left hook will come around the guard, but not for So Cold. He threw that right hand and came under with the same right hand with the uppercut. Just very interesting, very unique combinations by So Cold Steven Nelson.
And I agree with you, Sergio. If Nelson takes a little bit of power off his punches and focuses more on volume, he's got a great chance to get a quick stoppage here.
Yeah, man, it's called shoe shining the guy. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard used to do that. A lot of fighters do that. They're not power. You concentrate on speed and just beating your opponent's head. Even though they're not landing really hard, they're really shaking them.
So far, this has been arguably Steve Nelson's best ever performance. And he's 36 years old. He's not getting any younger. Vasquez, a heavy hitter or heavy puncher. But Nelson, for the most part, has avoided the fire and delivered plenty of his own. That's knockdown number 3, and I don't think he wants to continue.
Yeah, I don't think there was much of an impactful punch. There it is.
And that is it. So Cold Steven Nelson is 20-0.
I'm telling you right now, Steven Nelson beat down a tough, undefeated, determined Marcos Vasquez and made him resign. That was a beatdown. That was so cold. I'm telling you right now.
And he did it in that outfit.
Oh my God.
Chris, are you going to be jumping online to the Steven Nelson fan zone gift shop to buy your own trunks like that?
I'm telling you, did they make that in a bathing suit? I'd probably wear that as a bathing suit.
I've never seen that. It's unique.
Our main event tonight, Crawford versus Madrimov, as Bud tries to win in a 4th weight class. Meeting him there, one of the most gifted junior middleweights on the planet, Israel Madrimov. Who do you like? Buy it now on DAZN.
And look, beautiful uppercut from down there. You thought a right hand was coming, and that's what we didn't see from our angle, because it was a wrong angle for us, but it was a left uppercut that just pierced the bottom of the guard of Vasquez. It was just such a sharp shot that came under. It looked like that punch missed, but you can see that it tweaked the neck, the opposite side, and those punches right there, they throw you out. Those are vicious shots.
And it wasn't an arm punch, Sergio. He got underneath him, almost lifted his shoulder up with that uppercut.
It looked like that Street Fighter all-you-can type uppercut.
Well, Sergio, what grade are you giving Steven Nelson?
Oh, man, that was a solid performance against an undefeated, solid opponent. Hey, let's give this man an A. A minus. Let's give him an A minus. Not a plus because of those trunks.
All right, let's make it official. Thomas Treiber has the numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 50 seconds of round number 5. Your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Steve So Cold Nelson.
Thank you again, brother. Yes, sir.
Well, Steven, congratulations. First fight for you in a little over a year. How did it feel to get back in the ring?
First off, man, I have to give all praise to God, man. He put me through so much this year. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know how this fight can go, but I'm going to give it my best, man. And I come out victorious, and I'm just happy that, you know, I got to display to the world, you know, that So Cold is still here.
Now you're 36 years old. I know the clock's ticking, so you want to get into big fights sooner rather than later. What is it that you want to do next?
Man, I want them big fights. A title eliminator. I'm going to be realistic. Title eliminator. You know, something that lead me to the title. I want to fight. There's a lot of big names out there. Come on, let's put the gloves on, man. Stop all this going back and forth about, you know, money and this and that. Let's fight, man. Get the fans great shows like we doing today.
I think I speak for everybody when I got to ask, where do you get those trunks?
I make my own gear. You know, I make my own gear. I design bud gear. So, you know, I'm a man of many talents. That's where So Cold come from, man. So Cold everything, man. I made these. I came out today as Tupac. If you've seen, I had a Tupac music playing, everything, man. Homage to an LA great.
Congratulations, Steven.
Yes, sir.
Guys?
Yeah, I've been barraged with tweets on Twitter. I just checked my social media. That's what Tupac was wearing when he spit at the cameras. How did you not know that?
Because he wasn't wearing the backwards bandana, that's why.
Either way, a very good night at the office, or day at the office, we should say, for Steven So Cold Nelson, who improves to 20-0 with 16 knockouts.
Man, I'm telling you, I want to see more of this man. Even if he's already past what should be his prime as a man, he's not past his prime as a fighter. That was a beatdown he put on the undefeated, tough Mexican, Marcos Vasquez. I mean, every shot in the book was being landed, but still minding his defense. Nelson, you could tell, he comes from that Bud Crawford school. You know, he's very calm with his attack. He's patient with his fury, and he's always looking for a different opening, unique openings. That right there, no one throws uppercuts like that from afar and lands them that cleanly. Only athletic fighters, confident fighters, guys that are just born fighters. Damn good performance by Steven Nelson.
Well, we need to put on some sunblock. We're starting to get roasted up in here. 90 degrees, bright sunshine in Los Angeles, and we're just a few minutes away from our main card kicking off. 6 fights live from LA's BMO Stadium, the greatest card of all time. And we send it back upstairs to Kate Abdo and Sean Porter.
Thank you very much, gents. Welcome back to BMO Stadium in downtown Los Angeles, California. Usually home to soccer in this city. The stadium has been converted for today. It is ready for a massive night of boxing and a performance by Eminem too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
I hope he does the old stuff. Because I don't know the new stuff.
Well, a year ago, Eminem, remember, ring-walked Terence to the biggest win of his career. Tonight, Crawford looking to add another division to his resume, become a 4-weight world champion. It is good to have you with us, Kate Abdo, Sean Porter. Come on inside the stadium with us. So, if you think about Terence Crawford, most people have him 1, 2, at worst 3 on their pound-for-pound list. What about Madrimov? Do you consider him to be the best fighter at 154 at this point?
He's the best fighter at 154, but simply because overall he's the best at 154. Some of the guys are now inactive at 154. Other guys don't have the experience.
You're talking about Jamel Charlo or somebody?
Some of those other guys, yes, ma'am. Some of the guys lack speed. Some of them lack power. You know, Madrimov overall package, and I think that's what makes him, beyond having a belt, that's what makes him the best guy at 154.
I mean, Madrimov only won the world championship belt in his last fight, right?
Yeah.
Then in his first defense takes on a Terence Crawford. What does that tell you about him?
Well, you know, and like he reminds me a little bit of a Tim Tszyu. Same kind of like come forward kind of style, but I think that he has a little bit more to his arsenal than someone like Tim Tszyu has, you know, so that's why I would even rate him a little higher than Tim Tszyu. And to your point, 10 fights and already a champion, that speaks to who he is already as a fighter.
If he's watching the broadcast right now, what does he need to be ready for against Terence Crawford? You've got first-hand experience.
You got to be ready for that look that Terence is going to give you. Terence is going to give Madrimov a look like nothing's working. And he's
How discouraging is that?
He's going to get into your head. It is going to play games with you. It's going to make you feel like nothing's working. And that, in turn, is going to make Madrimov feel like he has to divert from his game plan, divert from what he does well, and try something else. The moment he diverts from that and tries something else is the moment that things will start to go wrong for him. It's what happened to me, and I do believe that that's what happens to most of the guys that get in the ring with Terence Crawford. He's a master at figuring you out and taking control. And Madrimov cannot allow him to take control.
What level of respect do you think Terence Crawford has for Madrimov tonight?
Just a basic respect of your fighter, but when they get in the ring, zero respect. Terence Crawford is always on a mission when he gets in the ring, and when you're on a mission, that means you can't respect the guy across from you. You can't appreciate who they are. You gotta get rid of them.
In terms of that pound-for-pound ranking, where do you have him? Because I know Chris Mannix has him at number 2, Usyk at number 1.
You know, I just looked at the records of both Usyk and Inoue. There's always the argument, who's number 1? Terence Crawford's 40-0. How is there an argument
it's
beyond that?
It's not an argument for you?
I'm someone, I don't like pound for pound, but if I talk pound for pound, I'm talking about performance. I'm not talking about records. I'm not talking about who you fought against and all those sorts of things.
You just used his record to say that was
because at the end of the day, that's what everybody else is doing. So I'm doing what everybody else is doing. Based on performance, nobody's gone the distance with him at 47. I don't think they're going to go the distance tonight. Those other guys are performing the same. But it's just different when Terence Crawford's in the ring.
You think that power carries up to 154?
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's all the prelims that we've got for you on this Riyadh season card, headlined by the 3-division world champion Terence Crawford, looking to make it 4 against the unbeaten Israel Madrimov. Head over to DAZN.com right now to buy what is an incredible main card. We'll see you in a minute.
What more could they possibly get?
Remember the dream. Stay focused. Everything or nothing. Final round. Everything or nothing, son. Everything or nothing.